Welcome to another great episode of T-Mac TV, where if I don't see you, you see me. On today's episode on T-Mac TV, I have some of my great friends, some hilarious comedians, some of my friends I call down. Also, I showcase and I display different genres of arts and talents here in Philadelphia. So sit back and relax. We have some of Philadelphia's funniest comedians coming up. Stay tuned. And we are back here on T-Mac TV. I have with me the funny, the hilarious, the host of the Bristol Comedy Works here in Philadelphia. You'll need to check them out. Start clapping right now. Put your hands together for the funny Lump Hamilton.
All right, y'all. Give it up for T Macaroni one more time. Clap it up for him. All right. My name is Lump Hamilton, and I'm from Southwest Philadelphia. It's a bad neighborhood, but I love my hood. To put it in perspective for you, when Philadelphia led the nation in murders, Southwest led the league. You know what I mean? That's what we do out there. Everybody needs a one a day. I live in a neighborhood so bad right now, I have to literally lock the door while I'm pooping to make sure that nobody steals my crap. You know what I mean? Yeah, the crackheads got fresh fertilizer for sale. Like I said, I'm from Southwest. In the Southwest, you see some of the craziest things. The other day, I met a kid with a neck tattoo that said Savage in big block letters. And I asked this kid his name, and he said Randy. Just crazy, man. I let y'all in on a little secret. I'm stoned. I really am. I'm stoned. I'm so high right now. Like, I'm stoned like an adulterous woman in Baghdad. Like, I'm so stoned. I smoke lots of pot. Any pot smokers here? Yeah, one or two? That means everybody else in the room is on cocaine. Is that how that works? I'm 37 years old, and I've been smoking pot since I was 13. That's when I met Mary Jane, and I've been rocking out with Shorty ever since. I like to grab her by the butt and squeeze. That's our thing. And when I smoke pot, I like to come up with little games, brain teasers, if you will. What we're going to do right fast is we're going to expand our minds by combining animals. All right? Pay attention. Now, if you mix a squirrel with a bear, you get a square. If you mix a fox with a beaver, you get a fever. What do you get when you mix a quail with a deer? You get a fabulous animal. It's fantastic, honey. I'm a mean dude in real life. Like, I told jokes at a gay bar once. I thanked everybody for coming out. All right. Y'all seem like a pretty smart crowd. I think that we can all agree that people without fingers are pointless. And that erectile dysfunction jokes are never hard. I must be a dyslexic masseuse because I'm always rubbing people the wrong way. I have a friend that was recently diagnosed with multiple personality disorder, and I'm a mean dude. So I told him all of his selfies are now group photos. I tend not to use segues because they're for fat cops. I went to a winery a couple weeks ago. It was just a bunch of idiots complaining. I only have safe sex in bank vaults. All right. All right. I've been a mean person like my whole life. I actually got it honestly. My father before me, he was kind of mean, and his father before him, he was mean. So I'm actually a third generation mean person. When I was in the 5th grade, my teacher told me that she thought I was intelligent, and she wanted to play a game of show and tell. I said, sure. So she put her hands behind her back, and she said, what I'm holding right now is slim, and it's white. And I said, that's a piece of chalk. And she said, no, it's a straw, but I like your imagination. She said, I'm going to go again. I said, sure. So she put her hands behind her back, and she said, what I'm holding right now is long, and it's yellow. And I said, that's a banana. And she said, no, it's a number 2 pencil, but I like your imagination. I said, can I have a chance at this game, Miss Teacher? And she said, sure. So I put my hand in my pocket. And I said, what I'm grasping right now is hard and it's brown. And she said, you go to the principal's office right now, young man. And I said, whoa, take it easy. It's only a penny, but I like your imagination. That's my time, y'all. My name is Lump Hamilton. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you so much, Philadelphia.
Give it up for Lump Hamilton, y'all. Lump, what's going on, Lump? Talk to my cameras, man. Talk to TeeMacTV. Introduce yourself.
How y'all doing? My name is Lump Hamilton. I'm from Philadelphia. I've been doing stand-up for 4.5 years, but I've been an a-hole my whole life.
Right.
I got it honestly. I have a 5-year-old son. I fix appliances, wash machines, dryers, stoves, refrigerators. I'm always around. You can find me.
Right. That's what's up, man. So, quick question, man. I just want to know, when is it that you started doing comedy? Or around what time, what year?
It was the 3rd weekend of January 2011.
The 3rd weekend,
yeah. I know exactly what it was. Yeah.
That's real. No, because I remember my first time starting comedy, bro. It was actually 2009, March, May 3rd.
Okay.
April, sorry. See, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I thought I did. But every time I sit down and I chat with my comedians, I like to ask them, in a comedy game, what inspires you to do comedy? What motivates you? What's your?
I enjoy making people laugh. I honestly do. I think there's so much pain and heartache and restlessness in the world.
Right.
And I know that when people come to a comedy show, they should be able to turn their brain off, for a while and relax and enjoy some jokes. Now, I understand that everything's not funny to everybody.
Right.
But at the same time, if you're coming to a comedy show and you're not looking forward to laughing, then you're defeating the purpose and wasting money.
Right. And you actually said something that kind of struck me. You said people need to turn their brains off. And that's sticking with me now. And I can interpret it and take what I want to take from it, but can you explain it to me just a little bit more? All
right, and it's a bad phrase because a lot of the comedy. It's a good phrase, but it's bad for me because a lot of comedy, a lot of the words that I say, people have to at least be paying attention so they can understand it. But when you go somewhere, like when you go to a sporting event or you're going to a poetry recital, you have to turn. You're supposed to turn your brain off, or at least your internal, we'll say emotion. When you go somewhere that you paid money for, or that someone has paid money for, you try to turn your emotions off so that you can enjoy whatever's about to happen in front of you.
Yeah.
And some people forget that, when they go to certain things.
Right, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. I've definitely seen you at a lot of different shows, and your style, you have a unique style. You have I want to say different, not in a negative way though, because there's many styles of comedy. There's different styles of comedy. I come off raunchy, you come off more intellectual, if I may use those words. I'm trying to use big words.
You can. Actually, it's crazy. What I call my style is intelligent stupidity.
Gotcha.
Anybody over the age of 16 years old should be able to understand every word that I say.
Gotcha.
And I know it's like a mix. When I was a child, I wasn't allowed outside to go play because that was when crack hit the streets in the 80s. So my parents, my dad kept us inside, and so he bought us cable and all that, and so I used to watch BET, VH1, MTV, Comedy Central, a lot of cartoons. I love cartoons. And then growing up, once we moved out of that environment in the Southwest, I finally got like my own car, and I never really stuck around to I'm street smart. Like North Philly made me street smart, but West Philly made me just intelligent. Like I guess if that makes any sense.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so all of those things mixed together, and like that's where my style comes from. And I believe I have more of a mainstream style. So like when I went to the Laugh House, I'm actually an alumni of the Laugh House, as you are as well.
Yeah. And not to cut you off, we were talking about that backstage. We were talking about that, me and some other comedians, and the Laugh House I'm proud to say that the Laugh House is back open.
It is back open.
Yeah. Let's big up. Let's give it up for the Laugh House being back open. Yeah. For my viewers watching, the reason why I take the time to mention the Laugh House is because us as comics coming up, just performing to have the Laugh House on your resume.
Yes.
It's a big up.
thing.
It's a big thing, you know, because here in Philadelphia, that's what we have for us is the Laugh House, the Warm Daddies, the Heliums, and the, you know, things like that. But the Laugh House is one of our well-known comedy spots here in Philadelphia.
And it had closed down for a minute, but it's back again. But when it was open, I used to go down there a lot, and they kind of wasn't feeling me, so I couldn't really get on stage. So that made me branch out into other places. So I started doing poetry shows and marijuana activism festivals. And
Wait, what?
Yes, that is a thing that really happened.
Wow,
like,
really?
I ended up like headlining in Delaware at a marijuana activism festival, and they didn't pay us in cash. They paid us in 2 joints in the edible. Like, that's a real thing that happened.
It's a good payment.
Right, I enjoyed it. It took me about 2 weeks to get through all of it, trust me. Alaskan Thunder, F, yeah, some good stuff.
Yeah.
But like, so when I see like in Philadelphia, the comedy there's a split, there's a divide, where it's urban comedy and mainstream comedy. Me and a friend of mine named Bino Brogdon, we run a monthly show at 1919 East Passyunk Avenue. It's called Adobe Cafe. It's every last Wednesday. We try to get all of the comedians in Philadelphia a chance to come down. We have we have like 10-minute features and some open micers around it, but we try to mix it. It's called the Ebony and Ivory Showcase because we want those two, like, to me, comedy is funny. Funny is funny unless it's not funny.
Exactly.
And so you can't put, like, I go to certain, we'll say, mainstream rooms or what people would call white rooms, and they look at me, and I look kind of dangerous. Like, I look like I'm small, beard scruffy, like I look like I could hurt something, I could rob everybody in the room with no gun. And I usually say that on stage and it gets a laugh. But when I start talking and I enunciate my words and I'm kind and I smile a little bit, then everybody eases off, and then their brains are working.
Exactly.
And I should be able to take these jokes anywhere, and that's what I do. That's
what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, here it is, man. Here it is. We're going to 2015. We're going to 2016, and you're still doing big things, man. I've met you back in like 2009, somewhere around there.
I think it was like 2010.
Yeah,
I met you before I started doing comedy.
Right. And you know, I can honestly say you have always been the same person you is on stage and off stage, and it's definitely been a pleasure having you here on the TeeMac TV.
Oh man, thank you.
And you know, thank you for coming out and sharing your craft with us, sharing your gift. And before you leave, man, just tell my viewers, tell my watchers, where can they find you at? How can they get in contact with Lump? If anybody wants to book you, you know, get you for anything, how can they find you?
You can find me on social media. I'm on Twitter @_Lump. You can find me there. A lot of random thoughts, crazy stuff. Also on Facebook, Lump Hamilton Comedy. Go past there, drop a like if you like. You know what I mean? I try to keep people filled in on where I'm going to be next. I usually do hosting spots once or twice a year at the Bristol Comedy Works out in Bristol, Pennsylvania. And I go out there at least once a month just to stay fresh with those people. I do Helium Comedy Club. I'm trying to get back in the Laugh House. We see how that goes.
Right, and that's something else I wanted to give you your props. So I know that said that was one less thing, but I got to give you your props on that. For my viewers watching, Lump, he's one of the type of comedians. I like to call them the Greyhound comedians. They go from show to show, and sometimes you might think that that's a bad thing, but in actuality, being a comedian, that's a good thing. And Lump, he goes from show to show, and he does that so much to where as though he created a page, and he created a page, and it's Yo Lump, where's the shows at? Other comedians actually go on that page to ask him, where's the shows at? Because he knows, and he'll tell you, oh, this is going on such and such. He knows every show. Let
me close it up with this. There is a room. It's called Yo Lump, where the show's at. I didn't create it. Props to Tommy Turner and Young Funny. But what I do is, being as though there's a lot of comics in the city, I don't care what color you are. You could be green with purple spots. If you want to go get in front of a crowd and do some jokes, that's where you go. And every day I list where the shows are, in the region. You know what I'm saying? So Monday we go here. Tuesday we do 3-4 spots. 5. I try to be on stage every night if I can, man.
No, and that's love. That's love, Lump. You know, because like I said, me as a comedian, you know, just if I'm checking, and if it's not nothing on Facebook that's scheduled or we don't see a flyer, just knowing that you have that information and, you know, to where's the show at available, you know, that's love, man. So keep up with the Yo Lump, where the show's at, because I check it out every day on Facebook. And, you know, it's a blessing, man, and it's a treat for comedians all over. So there you have it, here on T-Mac TV, comedian Lump Hamilton. Here you see him. Give it up for Lump Hamilton, y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Grab some popcorn. Maybe get yourself something to drink, a bottle of water or something. Come right back to the couch. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back with more T-Mac TV. And we are back here on T-Mac TV. I have with me the hilarious, the finest, Philadelphia's own, Philly's own, the diva of comedy, Miss Richardson. Put your hands together for her.
Thank you, T-Mac. How y'all doing, Philly? What's going on? As you can see, they are letting crazy people loose on the streets. I'm excited about my exit from Belmont, Fairmount, and Kirkbride. You ain't supposed to laugh at that, honestly. I was in there and I was put away as if I was the dangerous inmate in the facility. There was a mix-up because when I'm off, I think there's zombies around. And my meds were messed up. We understand what I'm saying? My meds are messed up. Everything on the city is crazy. My son's special need. My husband's retarded. Excuse me. Give me a minute, Philly. This is gonna be played back over and over again in his mind about my divorce. It might be over. I'm in Belmont and everything's going crazy. I'm next to a man that believes he's talking to the devil. I'm next to a man that believes he has a pink female's private part. We cannot convince him that his real name is Damien and he wants to be called Faith. At this point, I'm calling my mom like something's been wrong with the triage nurse. I feel just about as sane as anybody on the outside. As you can see, I'm a female, but I have male tendencies. That means I think about physical gratification all day. So I'm next to a man who's exposing himself. He's not my type, so I had to hold that back. The only person that was attracted to me, actually, I almost had gay and straight, physical relations inside the facility, except for my armored guard outside my room would not let me have company. I thought when we got locked up, we were supposed to have fun. Nobody offered me anything when I got out of jail. You know how men get locked up, they get all these letters, and the women offer them stuff when they get out? Not the crazy people. I got out like I'm fresh out, niggas like, I'm cool. You crazy. So I'm on the floor, and the man throws his tray out. Next thing I knew, I see all these fine brothers with beards and dickies run through. Code 66. So we got females. You understand what I'm saying? I saw all these fine brothers because of this code being called out. That's when I got the epiphany. I asked the guards, I said, if I act up, are those same 5 guards going to come down and strap me to the bed? Butt naked, code 66, let's go. So, I had so much fun with those guards that day. Last thing, I got a discrepancy because of Facebook. I liked a cute monkey on Facebook, you hear me? You got me? So I liked the cute monkey on Facebook. Nobody cared that I liked the monkey. When I asked a question about what kind of monkey it was, the room started throwing bananas. I got 100 WTFs, some SMH. I got 2 LOLs. Homie to homie, if you tell jokes all the time, I knew that somebody knew there was a silverback gorilla on the loose. I have to let the owner know that the pink tutu and the tiara and the playpen is against codes for that wilderness. For the, you know, I start throwing hashtags on what I thought the monkey looked like. Coco, Mighty Joe Young, somebody's dad, I don't know. Just forget that one. 5 pictures in, the owner contacts me and says it's her baby. I've been called a lot of things, but calling people baby ugly, I'm lying. That's like my main joke right now. So anyway, I tell the parent, the owner, I'm not ignorant. I put my glasses on. It is a baby. My bad. I'm sorry. But I liked it as a cute monkey. I never liked your ugly baby, miss. My name is Tuere. I'm known as that crazy girl Tuere from that crazy girl Tuere show on YouTube, 88.3 FM. Thank you. I'm out.
Give it up for comedian Tuere Richardson. How are you? And welcome here on TeeMacTV. What's going on with your mom? Tell TeeMacTV about you.
First of all, thanks for having me, T-Mac. I haven't seen you since Whatever Live.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was walking up behind you, did a funny act. I've been following you since, you know, with the Jesus thing.
Right.
I was wondering if I could do clean comedy. That's about it. I want to know why they're interested in my personal hygiene before telling jokes, but... I started on Downtown Hot Radio.
Right.
I'm known as the female Howard Stern.
Right.
It's probably because I'm Jewish and weird and talk a lot about sex.
Right.
So you don't even have any questions.
Yeah, and
about that.
I'm glad you opened the door of questioning because that was definitely on my question list with you. When I first met you, I met you at the Reef.
Right, yes.
And, you know, I've seen a lot of, you know, raunchy female comedians on BET, but to actually see one live and in present, you know, you actually had a good set that night, and
Yes.
I enjoyed your set. And that leads up to my question. As a female comedian, as a female and then being a comedian, how do you feel about that? Do you feel underrated? Do you feel more pressure is on you because you're a female and, you know, in the comedy world, it's predominantly males?
Right, we talk about that females in the city of brotherly love. There's none for the sisters.
No.
You won't see my name on the shows, but you'll see me supporting it. And I'm trying to get the No Ho Left Behind Act in Congress as well, T-Mac. I'm sorry, I'm supporting the hoes. How you doing?
Right. You gotta
Peaches.
support the
This
hoes.
is for Peaches.
This is for Peaches.
This is for Peaches.
I support this.
Sorry. This is for Peaches. We're gonna give it up for Peaches, everybody.
Right.
Yeah, she's not gonna be collecting no offering at my church, but amen, Pastor.
So listen, Tuere, like I said, your style is very, you know, yourself and very,
Yes.
you know, raunchy. And, you know, how do you describe your style? What, you know, to my viewers?
Well, I started out as the Vanessa Del Rio of comedy.
Vanessa, right? I remember that. Vanessa Del Rio.
And the reason why is because when I was younger, I wanted to be a porn star or a madam, and I thought those were good careers, along with pole dancing. And running numbers and selling liquor from out the house.
We're all promising careers. We're all promising careers.
Right, and when I explained my career choices to my kindergarten teacher, she found it funny. And she said, why do I want to be the madam? I said, because she's the only hoe that doesn't get pushed around. I was trying to say host, but I had a lisp, so we just going to work with the 2 letters.
Right. And just keep it moving.
Right. Actually, being funny is a curse. I've been known to make people laugh since I was 3.
Right.
They would get me dressed up like Shirley Temple, and it would be how long is she going to stay in the outfit? it's no secret that I have hyperactivity, ADHD, and I'm on the highest dose of Seroquel. Thank you, Jesus.
So for my viewers watching, if they don't know, this is you all the way.
All day. People don't know how to take me. Like, I went somewhere, I was having a good time. I believe I was so bashed on social media for trying to rape people in the bathroom. I will try to say to you that it wasn't that bathroom in that event. But there have been times where you could say, I want to say my manager, Laura, we're going to clean that up right now. Laura was on the phone like, you know your name is Laura. I was like, Laura, for us. Oh, that's crazy, because I didn't rape nobody that night. Oh, innocent. I took my medicine, I promise. I think I took them. No, those are Tic Tacs, my bad, tomorrow. Right. And I like talking about different weird sex. I was listening to Bruno Mars, Gorilla Sex, and I thought about it, you know, what if somebody wants to ask you for gorilla sex? And what does that look like? So that because I'm intelligent, I started looking up animals having sex. That's really nasty, but I found I found out in my examination of the gorillas that that's the way to go. I need a gorilla for 3 days. Holla if you hear me, ladies. My kids and I were watching Animal Planet. Right. Okay. And there was a monkey incident where the monkey was running and she was, you know, he was tearing it up, you know, but this one monkey is going through the, you know, jungle and knocking women down and taking them, and, you know, and I was like, wow, she need help by the court, you know, he gonna get her good. You hear the monkey, ooh, and it's getting wild. I started, yeah, I gotta get me a gorilla, but you can't have sex with animals. You gotta get a man that acts like the gorilla. Right. Hop, yo, what? Pay him $2 on selling enough Lucy's just to bring him home. Right. Clean him up for the church, Lord. He'll be a deacon in a week. Yeah.
Tierra, I'm trying to tell you, I love it. I love seeing you. I love meeting you. Your energy and your style, and
thank you.
You know, just your coming off. I mean, you know, I enjoy it. I definitely want to thank you for coming down and blessing the TeeMac TV
Thank
table
you so
and chair.
much for allowing your Jewish followers to come down during Ramadan.
Right. I was gonna say it's Ramadan.
Last year I stripped on the Gaza and I upsetted the whole thing.
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the morning, butt naked. Turn out for what? All right. He ain't fast the whole month, but God is good to his pilgrimage. So thank you, T-Mac, for having me, and I'll always be following you. You could give me your clip. You'll always be able to be played on 88.3 FM.
Yeah. I was going to say, before you leave, please tell my T-Mac TV watchers and my viewers, where can they find you, your information, how can they get in contact with you if they want to book you and see you and all your craziness, how can they find you?
Well, one, they'll find me walking up the street and catching the L today. Right. And then, all right, honestly, my name is Tuere Richardson. So that's T-U-E-R-E Richardson, son of Richard. It's an adopted name. Don't even look it up. I don't know who my father is. And that's on Google. I'm on YouTube as That Crazy Girl Tuere Show, 3/31. Then you'll see this chick with different wigs, explaining how I got kicked out. I got expelled in kindergarten. Just an upset about catch a girl, freak a girl. I didn't play the way everybody else played. So I was punting niggas on the field goal line, 43, he's out. My dad would have seen any touching and I didn't interfere. That would have been a whooping that, you know, I wouldn't have been as funny now as I am, you know. So you can find me, ask him, he'll let me know, but actually I'm comedian Tuere on Instagram, Tuere Richardson on Facebook, and on YouTube, That Crazy Girl Tuere Show. And always, if you're in West Philly around 48th Street, tune in to 88.3 FM, where I am the local West Philly DJ. Thank you.
There you have it, comedian Tuere Richardson. Give it up for her.